My name is Ryan Becker. I was in this band, and then I was in another band. So I guess starting, I don't know, like starting from the beginning, is that weird? Do a lot of people just go like, hey, this is the beginning of the story?
I'm Grady.
Okay.
Nice to
Cool.
see you. Thanks for being
Hey,
here.
it's good to be here. Thanks for I'm gonna let everybody know that you invited me.
I have a loose format. I think it's I'm kind of following like where you at, where you been, where you going. I think that's kind of it. But
That's pretty
the
good.
beginning's good. I like the beginning.
Well, now I'm all excited about my new album. So that's
Right.
I feel like that's where I'm at, and that feels
yeah.
most interesting, at least to me right now.
You have a new album.
Yes. And if I don't, please, sometimes I'll look you in the eye and sometimes I won't. So
Okay.
just don't. It's just, how I kind of don't. And then it's just me thinking. New album. Yes. Just got back the masters for the new album. It is 19 tracks, 17 songs. If that makes sense. And just excited to release it. It's been in the works. I wouldn't say like in the works. Like, I don't know exactly how to describe something that you rarely worked hard on over almost a decade. I don't know exactly how to describe that.
In progress.
In progress, yes. Started before everything was shut down, also known as pandemic and things. It probably could have been done before that, but just certain things, other people's schedules and lives and all that stuff. But definitely when pandemic hit, it just dragging feet, thinking like, oh, this person who's helping me work on this it's gonna be they have to do what they need to to live and do their things, and so I'm just gonna be patient. And it took like 9 years, but it wasn't like a I don't know, I guess that doesn't really mean anything. Or it means, I guess it could mean anything. I'm so sorry. It was very hindering, if I'm being completely honest. I know I said I was excited to release this album, and now it sounds just like a nightmare. But yes.
Does it have a title?
Yes, it's called, thank you. It's called Number One Honey Puppy Momma. And
is there a colon in there?
In where?
Anywhere in that title?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, there is none. It is, but it's the pound symbol for number.
Okay.
And not N-O period or the word number. Yeah, so go ahead.
That pound symbol, put it at the top of won't that show up before any like alpha numeric?
Oh, if you're looking for it at CD World? Yes.
Yeah. If you specific if they're arranged by album title, which is how a lot of people
album title. Oh yeah, it's not the
artist arrange them.
Did you know that the band, the Eels, supposedly the story is he wanted Eels because he thought he would be first in the E's, but he completely forgot about Eagles. So
yeah,
that's
but then
story.
You'd be right behind Eagles.
Right behind Eagles.
So
we're all right behind Eagles.
Someone's looking for Eagles and is like, no, they don't have the one I want. Ooh, Eels though.
Ooh, Eels. Number One Honey Puppy Momma. Let's see here. Playing out to, eventually doing some release shows and put a band together, which includes you, Grady, and Scott Dambaum and Eric Nicholson from Midlake, and Scott Dambaum, Centromatic, and Sarah Jaffe, and all the other bands, and
Alejandro Escovedo.
Yes,
currently.
Yes. And then our good buddy Jeffrey Gruber. Am I forgetting anybody?
No, that was it.
Okay, great. Yeah,
5 of us. Yourself.
Yes.
You didn't mention you.
Oh, and
you're in the band.
Yes, me from this band. Oh my goodness. And Jeff Gruber, of course, from our old band, Sunday Drive. And then he's played with Descender, Casey Hess
Mm-hmm.
from that old band that all you guys used to listen to, which was called
Dusu.
Slow Rose. No, I'm just kidding. Dusu. So
And
sorry.
Jeff's now in. If they perform as Dusu, Jeff's in it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Very excited for him. I bought a microKORG keyboard from Casey.
Yeah.
And I still use it to this very day.
I think it's cool.
Yeah,
We've
it's very
gotten a lot of great sounds out of that thing.
I think so. It's on the new album.
I bet it is.
Yeah. And just I don't know, describing the new album, it runs the gamut of what it usually is. Last solo album was in 2009, Neighborhood, and you helped with that one. We recorded a lot of that at the house. I started like on 4-track stuff when we were living together, and we finished that up with our buddy JC at the Echo Lab, and wow, it's been a long time.
You got a thing. I think Neighborhood is like
excuse me,
short comparatively, especially
Yes.
or in number of songs. And like you have I've heard the new album. You have a thing for like, I have this very short idea, but it needs to get out and needs to kind of have its little moment in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Did you acquire that from anybody? Is that something that you've always kind of had?
If I had to think about it, for some reason I always think about the Lemonheads and just kind of those short poppy punky kind of songs, and I guess that kind of comes from like punk rock kind of things, and that of course comes from old rock and roll tunes. I guess you can kind of thread the needle through all of that. I think some of it had to do with when I was first writing songs. Brian left the room, but and it was kind of like you were not there, and it was Brian and I, and we were working on stuff, and I feel like he was kind of taking longer than I kind of wanted to get to the next idea and keep going. And then, and I was just kind of starting to write a bunch of songs, and I think it was just, I was in a different headspace. And so that's kind of where I went. I probably wasn't listening, like I love like the Guided by Voices kind of like even less than 10-second song kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like how you put it where it's like giving each little idea its kind of moment. There's something to that. And it's fun to kind of take a small moment where it's just like, this song might not be any longer than a minute or whatever, but to like fully think about how that minute's going to go, and how you're going to produce it, rather than it be just like, like a little demo or something like that. Really, it's another song, like treating it as anything else. Like, yeah. It's another idea. It's another song. It's another moment to kind of put everything you can, musically and thoughtfully into making it work, kind of a thing.
Is there something to like, does it feel lame or stupid to go like, I have this 1 minute idea. If I could just, write another verse and then like add a little instrumental section, then I've got, I've crossed this threshold of like, a 2.5 minute song. Does that like feel stupid or lame by comparison to, or just like, maybe if I did that, I wouldn't like it as much or something? It's just this little thing. And
I feel like the short ideas, I feel like I have an idea of what the song is gonna be ish. Like if it's a short little idea, that usually comes like very complete. my intention is usually complete when I'm kind of coming up with ideas. And so if it's a short little thing, I think 99% of the time, I can't really even think of an example. It's just going to be that because that's kind of that's the motivation. That's the idea, kind of a thing like that. And then if the motivation somehow happens where it's just like a bunch of lyrics, or there's like, I'm playing some chords, and then it's a longer song. It's got the verse, chorus, whatever, break, back, chorus thingy. If that makes sense. Yeah. I guess it just, most of the time it's whatever it is what it is.
We jump back. You mentioned making music with Brian.
Yeah.
And not with me. But before you were making music with Brian and not with me, it was with me and Brian. And so let's just go ahead and go back.
Okay.
We'll just back the tape all the way up. What's I think you joined us when you were 15.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you like had a guitar at that point?
I think I started playing when I was 13. One of my older brother's friends left over a beat up classical guitar, and I wanted to learn, like Steve Miller's The Joker, or Cream Sunshine of Your Love. Like I wanted to see if I could play those riffs. And I think I learned how to play with a cast on my arm. I had a lot of broken bones, broken arms, because I played soccer and I was a goalkeeper. Yeah. And so just kind of playing and learning these classic rock tunes, because I was more into kind of classic rock at the time, because my oldest brother was into that kind of a stuff, because I was kind of like lost on the alternative rock stuff. I really liked the pop stuff, but that wasn't really something that I thought that I could ever like play. And so I guess the classic rock stuff was more like accessible.
Guitar forward.
Yes. Yeah. Like I couldn't, like, it's weird to think about like someone, a kid listening to like Madonna or some Phil Collins tune, and thinking like, man, I'm going to kill that. I'm going to learn that on whatever popular keyboard there is.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to get a drum machine.
An electric drum. I'm going to get a drum machine. Anyways.
The guitar is approachable, and especially that era you're talking about.
Yeah.
And so.
Yes. Yeah.
We meet up with you kind of, I think I heard about you from Brian. He's like Nate's little brother. I was at their house the other night.
Nate, my brother. Yeah.
His brother plays guitar. He's good. And I don't know if it was then just brought up we should have him over to jam or whatever, but somehow that happened in short order. I think Nate brought you over. Your brother,
yes,
Nate, and his girlfriend at the time, I think, brought you over, and they hung out, and we just played a little bit. I don't really remember a ton about it.
Janae was very active in making that happen. She had kind of suggested that for us, and then was like, he's really good. He'd be awesome in your band. And I think she kind of maybe said that to you, and that's how it was arranged.
Yeah. I remember I think I was on the phone with one of you, maybe you. And it was very exciting for a little kid. I mean, you were also little kids, but you will always be older people to me.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, it seemed 2 years at that time seemed big. And I think that was like, we liked classic rock and like guitar forward music. And I think we felt like you were a real anomaly because you were so much younger than us, 2 years, and that you liked that kind of music too.
Yeah.
It was, like now I think you would think that was like 2 decades or something, or like, like
for sure.
This guy's, I don't know. I still meet young people who are into cool music, and are into things that I'm into now or whatever. But So somehow it's decided you like can play lead guitar for us.
I tricked you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then do we tell you like, do we like tell you to write a song, or do you just show up with a song one day?
I mean, at that point, I probably was already writing little bits here and there. And then I don't remember if you told me to write one. I could see that, like, kind of the offer of that kind of a thing. I don't know. It probably gets to the point where it's like I've gotten so kind of involved. I'm sure I was writing kind of like specific like solos and all these kinds of things, and then learning how to sing harmony, and so I think that was kind of the next step. Just like, here's a song,
Mm-hmm.
and there you go, first song.
And
then we cut to
yeah to you. We had, before we started recording this, and so that's definitely the first thing I ever heard that you wrote.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the first thing you'd ever written.
No, there was some, probably I had the first kind of recordings I made of myself were on like a little micro cassette handheld tape recorder. I think the very first thing was maybe playing Knocking on Heaven's Door, whispering it into the micro cassette recorder, and knowing that my bedroom door was probably open and my mom walked past, and I'm just like, nothing. And then just kind of doing other kind of little ideas and things like that. I wonder if I still have those kinds of things. I wonder if I still have those sucky recordings. But yeah, it was all very, very beginning songwriting stuff. I think that was at the very beginning of it. And then from there, I don't know where to go from there. Writing songs.
We started playing gigs.
Yeah.
We were like learning cover songs too, and
played a battle of the bands.
Yeah.
That we got second in, supposedly, by the band that played Sister Hazel covers, is what I remember being told. But we played I think we played all original music for that set. Was it like in the gymnasium looking thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. Your school?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
My high school.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I wasn't singing at the time. I don't think I had a microphone.
Just playing guitar. Oh man.
Just playing guitar. There was that. Sheesh. We recorded an album, wrote a couple more tunes. We recorded an album. Kind of what?
We played a lot of shows at that. It was called the Brick House.
Yep.
Then became Banter, and
off the square in Denton. Yeah.
Now called 940s.
We would do some open mics in Denton too. At what was it? Not the what was before Two Charlies?
Sunset Grill.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. I hadn't remembered that.
Yep.
In a long time.
Yeah. You guys were very, very cool. You taught me a lot about, just kind of harping on that. You guys did. It was really interesting to see people do drugs. It was very interesting to hear people do and to kind of be around it, because I didn't really. It was just like a thing. I knew my brother kind of did. I was just kind of at that age of just like, probably the year before we started playing music together, like my oldest brother took us to Fry Street Fair, Trip and Daisy, and that was probably the first time I ever smelled marijuana and saw somebody crowd surf, which was really cool. Anyways, drugs.
He was probably on marijuana, and that's what caused him to want to crowd surf.
Yes,
that feels really good when you're high.
Whoa.
So around people, we showed you a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And other music too. I just wanted to say how influential that was. Brian, pulled out the Material Issue, the last album, Freak City soundtrack. Yeah. I listened to it on the way over here because I just kind of thought of it because of this, and it's still good. But Velvet Underground and of course into Luna, and then Pink Floyd, Grateful Dead, Fish, that kind of stuff. Wow, what other kind of blind melon was a big thing. Like that kind of blew my mind. You guys showing me that stuff. Shannon Hoon.
We're way into that.
Yeah, crazy stuff. Anywho, still very influential to this day of like all that kind of music. And I thank you both. Yeah. And then Grady got fired. And then it was Brian and I for a little bit. And then I was like, see you, Brian. No. And then I was writing tunes.
You got a 4-track, right?
Got a 4-track. I was super into that. And was starting to kind of record solo albums that I would make like 8 to 13 copies, CDR copies of, and give to my parents, and then like whoever was around. And maybe I was kind of playing some solo shows here and there, mainly like at parties still, like if it was just me, it would just be, or maybe an open mic here and there. But yeah, a lot of 4-track recordings, a lot of collections of songs that like 4 or 5 albums, a couple of EPs, things like that. And I would put it out, a couple of them I put out on like a friend's label, but it was same thing of just like, there was still 15 copies of them made kind of a thing. It didn't mean anything. It was fun. Shooey dooey. And then made one called Uncomfortable Index Fingers. I think that's when I reconnected with you, Grady, and you were playing in a band called Sunday Drive with our friend Jeffrey Gruber. You were also running sound at Rubber Gloves at the Big Ass Beer open mics. And that's kind of where we reconnected. And yeah. And then you came out to shows. You were coming out to like a couple of like my solo shows. And then it was just like, let's play these songs together, just you and I.
There was a lot of Sunday Drive shows between that, I feel like.
Okay.
Because
yeah, for sure. Sunday Drive was first.
Yeah, I think you were still living in town, maybe with your parents. And recording your own songs, coming to the open mic and stuff. And then
2003.
Yeah, I probably at that time kind of recruited you to see if you wanted to play in Sunday Drive.
Yeah, you guys were a 3-piece.
Yeah. The same sort of deal of like of like another songwriter, someone who can play lead guitar. Fool me again.
Yeah.
Tricked me again.
Fool you twice.
But yeah, there's a lot of time in between there. I don't know why. I remember just thinking, because your friend Grant and stuff, like I remember y'all came up to Big Ass Beer Night one time, and you were playing. Grant had a radio, and I think I mic'd up the radio, and he just tuned stations in and out on the radio while you played.
I don't remember that at all.
And
cool.
and I think it just occurred to me like, oh, Ryan just wants to make his music with his friends, and that's almost like he would not. No matter what the friend's idea was, you wouldn't say no. And so I think that's when I just was like, hey, I'm gonna start following you around with my drums because I knew you wouldn't say no. You know? And that's what
you took advantage of me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw
an
opening.
Yeah. I've been dealing with that this past year of everyone who has taken advantage of me.
Yeah.
No, I understand. It's great. No, yeah, it was that's the idea. And like I hope it was, I could think of it more as a welcoming thing and not just waiting to be preyed upon.
And then you know, at Rubber Gloves one time, I remember it was loud. and you like
was-
whispered in my ear,
Uh-huh.
"What if we called it?" And I think you were like stifling laughter.
Yes.
RTB2.
Yeah.
Okay, that's funny.
Yeah.
Sounds like R2D2. No one
Yeah.
will ever
No one
confuse
will ever.
those again.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's good. And then we would play like, okay, yeah. Sunday drive. And then yes, we was starting to play some of my stuff. You and I, RTB2. Early things were guerrilla style in the bar room of Rubber Gloves, sometimes before a show would start, kind of a thing. I remember George Neal getting very upset because he was opening the actual show that was happening in the main room at Rubber Gloves. And we just finished our whatever it was set. And
They were like doors
doors
to the showroom.
Doors to the showroom. And then and we were like schmoozing or whatever and kind of talking. And it was just kind of loud bar room scene. And then you hear from the other room, George yelling, "The show's in here!" Because he was about to start playing.
The real show.
The real show is in here. Yeah, even better. So I think we made George upset. But we made it up to him by being his backup band.
Mhm. You're welcome, George.
You're welcome, George.
That's okay.
That's time?
No.
Okay.
It's not not getting off that easy. But I didn't actually get fired,
Right?
right?
I'm trying to
The
think.
band dissolved
With
no knowledge
when it was Brian
of mine,
Yes.
and another band was started with
Oh,
everyone
yeah. Okay.
in the band except me. I'm just clearing that up.
I think that's probably more accurate.
Yeah? Okay. Wow.
I was never like told you're fired. I just heard that y'all were
We're
doing
starting something. We're starting this other thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
in secondhand too.
Yeah.
But
The best way, the easiest. Like it's the easiest way to learn.
He'll
things.
find out.
Yeah.
That'll be the way.
Yeah.
But I think all of my dozen fans were going to be like, "Well, why'd you get fired?" Well, I did not.
Mhm.
But I think,
Mhm.
I mean, officially, I started playing with someone else,
Yes.
with another band, and
Yeah.
that was probably my cue to to you guys that I was no longer should,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I had stepped out.
For sure.
I thought he was comically saying that you got fired, which I thought was funny.
But yeah, well, I mean,
Because I
but
kind of
again,
had that. I kind of had that feeling for some reason. I don't know. That's how it kind of. Because I don't. It was a little nebulous, I guess, that time.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're here now.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? But and then you went and played with Bag, the band, the project that you were in. And then Brian and I were still making music. We kind of went a little, eventually, kind of a more, for lack of a better word, or only word is electronic kind of thing, but maybe out of necessity
Yeah.
of some sorts.
Yeah.
Because it was after Grady,
We
JT
were
was playing
rhythm
some-
sectionless.
Yeah. JT was kind of playing some drums, and then I think he got upset about something, and I don't remember. But you have since made up, I believe.
He's all right.
Okay,
he might
great.
still be upset about whatever it was, but
Yeah. And then we had a gig booked, and we were just like, I think we had it always kind of in the back. We had it in the back of our head maybe for a little bit of just like wanting to do it. And it's just like, and it almost felt like, here's our chance.
Mhm.
And we programmed a bunch of all the songs like on something, and then on a couple of drum machines, and then maybe made a DAT or a tape, or maybe even I think we were doing a CD player.
That's
at that
exactly.
time.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That
We-
was short lived, and then
Yeah,
we
yeah.
moved to DAT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think for that specific gig, like you may have rented or bought speakers and then returned them the next day. I don't remember exactly.
hell
what
yeah.
happened. But that was fun. Anyway, it's like the electronic stuff is still I carry to this day of just like what we were listening to. Mainly like Air was a big one,
Hmm.
kind of a thing. I know that they're not an electronic band. They use electronic things. Electronic things.
We were fresh off of seeing the Flaming Lips perform without a
Right.
drummer
Yeah.
or a bass, or maybe they had the bassist, but
Faux show.
it made that possible. It seemed like, we could actually still do something even though we didn't have an actual drummer. And I think that was maybe our inspiration for that
Hell yeah. Yeah.
season.
Could have called me, didn't. It's all right.
Yeah.
Still here, still waiting.
Right.
Did we play a show? Did y'all play a show? I know that band was called Aubrey. Y'all played a show with Bag, at least one.
Yeah.
At that place in Coppell.
Mm-hmm.
Lone Star Bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Original name, so easy to remember.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. There's a lot of Lone Star bars.
Please go.
With a human rhythm section.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I remember seeing you guys at Andy's bar on the square in Denton, RIP. Maybe with the rhythm section coming through a PA, but pre-recorded or something. And was that with Sunday Drive or with Bag, or was that just a show that y'all put together and I just went to see or something?
It's hard to remember like what that bill was.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Because I think when I suggested the idea of you playing with Gruber and Clint Hoyler and I Sunday Drive, that I think Jeff's impression of you was that you were kind of weird. Like, and he might still feel that way.
I sometimes I get that from him. Yeah. Him and Jenny, his wife, but that's okay.
And so, and I think that was like, you guys are kind of, like, I think there was some makeup involved in the like stage clothes or something. Oh,
actual literal makeup. I'm sorry. Yep.
Literal makeup. So yeah.
Boas. There were boas.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
wings. We had wings at one point.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Did we?
You don't remember wings? There were wings.
Holy
I think you
shit.
had big black wings.
That's bold.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry. Very distracting. But yes, Jeff thought I was weird. Might still think I'm weird. That's fine. I don't know.
But yeah, you came in, helped us record a record,
Sunday Drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
played on a couple tunes. Yeah.
We did a lot of gigs. That band gigged a lot.
I think that's where I learned a whole bunch, because we would do the 3 pushing 4 hour bar gigs, 2 to 3 sets. And that's kind of like where I learned the kind of longevity, like playing, lead guitar with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned a crap ton kind of a thing. Probably breathed in enough secondhand smoke to take off 10, 15 years. Very good.
Do you think those of us who are breathing it in firsthand had I don't know. I don't think I was smoking at that time. Not cigarettes.
Firsthand might be, let's see. It's more wholesome, I think. You want that wholesome smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And secondhand just seems, it's almost like an inefficient way to get your nutrients. It's like, rather than eat the cow, you eat the thing that the cow eats. And so let's say trees were cigarettes and cows were, I lost it.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Man.
Anyways, we're all going to die.
Okay. From the times that we played bar gigs at the Elbow Room in Dallas.
Yes. I heard they had good pizza. I don't think I ever had the pizza.
Well, somehow that like that a lot of gigging from Sunday Drive carried into RTB2, and we worked a lot.
We worked a ton. Yes. Whether it was the shows that we made up earlier on, and then I don't know how we.
What do you mean made up?
Oh, I mean like the shows that we kind of just
guerrilla style.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then eventually we, I guess, enough other musicians kind of saw it, where it's like we would open up shows. Like Oh So Close-O was like, I feel like was an early one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know exactly how we got the hook in, where it's like all of a sudden we were kind of playing shows.
That's always sort of been my thought, was like, rather than go and ask, was just start doing something.
Yeah.
And then it feels like someone would see, oh, these guys, they don't require much. And then someone might just, like sound wise or whatever. And so people might just call us up and go like, oh, we need a third band to fill out this bill. Will you do it? And then of course we would.
Yeah.
And we sort of did a cool thing, I think, of like, we would go to the Rec Room in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
And either play as a duo, or sometimes we'd take someone with us, and kind of, it was almost do like a song swap, except we would just play, like you and I would play, and then we would play with whoever. And I remember doing something like that at Dan's too, with like Andy Cox or something. And it just seemed like our whole thing was it wasn't too thought out, but now I do. And I'll recommend this to people when they're asking, someone's going, I want to play more. I'm like, just play.
Yeah.
Get out and figure somewhere someone will pay you to play music, or they just won't say no if you say, I'm just going to show up and bring my stuff and play. You can find a way to get in.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what we did, was just like, okay, well, if we can't get on this show, can we play in the bar room before the show or whatever? And you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Just let us do it. We don't need any money. And eventually that seemed to sort of steamroll into, we get easy ads to festivals. Again, it's like, they don't need much.
Yeah, for sure. And kind of when we started playing like Dan's up in Silverleaf, it was because I'm sure somebody from like The Porch, which was like a weekly thing there, like songwriters and readers, poets and things,
writers,
and we were invited to that, and that was kind of like a good chunk of people would come out to that. And I think maybe Dan, that's kind of where Dan heard us. And then even like Brent Best, and like we, like at that time, I think he was like no Slobberbone, but he was playing with his band The Drams, and we opened up for them maybe like at a New Year's show or something like that. And
sounds familiar.
It's where the first time I had my first run-in with Jimmy Smith, the sound guy, and I was checking my microphone, and he got upset with me, or he just was talking, because I think he was mostly upset all the time, and he told me to use my my big boy voice. And later on, I remember telling him on stage, maybe like a year after that, it's just like, I hope the stick up your ass is in a good mood tonight. And I got a lot of laughs, and I feel like that's a classic Ryan line.
I think you got some, I feel like there were some oohs. It's one of those things, a bunch of oohs and a bunch of people looking, like turning their heads to look at him. And I think he really, I think he was coming around to like us. And I think his respect for you or for us kind of went up a little bit.
Yeah. You just have to be mean to people, and they'll like you.
Yeah. That's how you, write that down.
Write that down.
You just have to be mean
you just have to be mean to people, and they'll respect you. Stick up your ass, da 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 da. Yeah, and then all of a sudden it was like Dallas Observer stuff, and we recorded kind of the first record, the both of it. Well, we had an EP before that even, and the songs were coming, and it was feeling kind of good. I feel like we peaked in the aspect of anyone else the of like height of care of us, like late aughts, early teens. But you know, I still feel like I'm peaking right now, man.
Yeah,
I'm better than ever.
you are. You definitely are.
But no, it's been good. And then we some albums. I can't, you know, there's highlights throughout the thing. I don't know where I'm going with this. Great festivals, and then it was I don't know what kind of happens. Family. It was relationships. Being in a more of an adult where it's like you take for granted that time where you kind of had a schedule of like going to school, even if it was college and it was all over the place. You would go to class, and then I would come home, and I'd have all my 4-track stuff like set up in my closet, and I would just record, come up with all these kinds of ideas. And then once you kind of get out of that and you're looking for a way to live your life independently, even more so, that shit gets in the way of creativity, I guess, but you don't really know it. And so I remember like kind of getting to a point writing less songs, and thinking, like having that conscious thought of just like, oh, I have to work on this now. Like I have to set time aside to like work on stuff. And then it would happen, and then it'd be like, oh my gosh, I figured it out. That's what I have to do. You actually have to work on this stuff now that you're an adult. But then I'd forget that all the time. And then it would just be kind of like nothing.
I think I feel like we booked time to record that second album and like the songs were not done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I felt like a lot, and I think this starts to like bleed over into other aspects of our like friendship and our like gig life too. But I felt like I definitely at that point felt like I was kind of pushing you along in a like, well, we need, you know, we booked this time, we need songs. I'm not the song guy. I'm the studio time guy or whatever. And oh
man.
And so like, I mean, those songs turned out great, but to me, it was definitely the first time that I ever felt like, yeah, it was work.
Yeah.
And then the same with, like gigs and stuff. Like, I think I could feel, because you had a day job, you had, you know, gotten a day job and like, you know, maybe be in a relationship with someone, which I had those things, I had stuff like that going on too. But I think mine felt, and I'm talking about the jobs here, felt more disposable or something, not the people. And so, yeah, at some point I felt like I'm pushing for this, and I'm feeling some like amount of burnout from you. And I think I get now that, yeah, those, when there's not that time to create new things that, and, you know, maybe want to spend some time with someone else other than me all of the time.
Yeah. And I don't think it was burnout. I really don't. Like, yeah, it was more of just just how kind of life kind of works that way of, and I don't know, I'm a pretty like just go with it kind of dude. And so I'm not having these conscious thoughts of just like we're not playing as much and I'm not writing as much kind of a thing. But going back to that second album though, like that was like that was, of course, not being conscious about it. That was working. Like that was like, that is the thing that I needed now that I need at this point of like, if you book the time, you book the thing to work on, and then you work on it, rather than it was kind of happening preemptively, like the creativeness of it, kind of a thing like that. I'm sure everybody kind of goes like that through that. And my kind of philosophy of like the music thing wasn't. I think there was maybe a time of just like, I'd love to do this for a living or whatever, but I don't know if it ever like clicked like fully of like, that's what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, I mean, I'm speaking for you, but I have always kind of gotten that sense from you of just like, eventually this is my aim kind of a thing. And I don't know, like if that.
Yeah. And so there's like, if that's my goal, and then you're the like creative engine, I think at some point I started to feel like I was like using you, for lack of a better term.
I think we've already used that.
Yeah.
No, using me for
because you have songs and people like you, and I think there's you have kind of an effect on people. I do think some people find you to be kind of strange, like Gruber. But I think that like people can be kind of not transfixed, but like just be like that this person's on to something, or it's really something to see this person do their thing. And I'm one of those people. That goes back to the beginning of like, oh, I really like what you were doing, and I liked your songs, from the very beginning. And so I just sort of latched on to like be a part of that. And then it, I think I felt like at some point maybe I was kind of pushing to a point that maybe you needed, or maybe we needed to move forward. But on reflection now, I'm like, maybe he didn't need it at all, and I did. Is sort of my general feeling.
All of that can be true. I know that you have helped kind of drive, like, literally. We shared drive. We would share the drive. Sometimes we would take the Honda Fit to Lubbock. My Honda Fit, R.I.P. Hail. Hate it.
Yeah.
Hate it. Sandworms. Sorry.
Would have kept going. It would have kept going. Not for that.
But yeah, you like. I don't know exactly how to put it. Right. What you just said, all that can kind of be true. But I've always kind of trusted the both of you and Brian. And I still do, of just kind of, that's why I kind of here. Like, I think it was kind of early on, maybe the imprinted, is that it? Is the baby animal imprint on the mom, or does the mom imprint on the baby, or is it mutual? Wherever the imprinting happens, that's what happened, and it's still here, kind of to this day. That's why you're playing in the band now, and we're still doing RTV2 stuff.
Yeah, I think at some point, I think I was going. I should probably like push this energy elsewhere.
Yeah.
And let it, and just because I do really like our connection and the music we make. And I mean, it's not just one thing, it's kind of many things, and to just let it go. All right, well, look, that will still be here if I want this, steady, like blue collar approach. Mm-hmm. I should probably seek other outlets for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you do. You did, and you do. I think it's been better for us, like as as friends and collaborators too. I think you bring, or I hope I bring something back, from the other things that I learned that for sure.
are helpful and new.
And I wouldn't say like better. It's just like we've learned how to acclimate to wherever we are now, and just kind of like our aims and our drives and our. I think we've just like we've been successful at getting to the next phase in our lives.
Yeah.
If that kind of makes sense. Whatever that means. Shoot, I had something. It's gone. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and there's an obvious parallel. Thanks for not changing the band name and getting another drummer. I'm looking at you, Brian. I was like, because I was there was a loop to the past there, I think, and that was sort of I think that's sort of what happened before with our old band and then Bag or whatever was like, I think at some point with you guys was like, they're very centered on doing this. I want to do something else.
Yeah.
And
do we have to stop like now?
the producer is not pleased.
We'll discuss it later.
Oh my God. Yep, I see what you're saying. Yeah. What else? Where am I going?
Well, so we had this. I also thought we like to, as a unit, and then in other things that we did together, we did a record called Ryan Thomas Becker's Last Joke.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
with some friends, Tony and Andy.
Yay.
And like we worked really fast, and I think that was sort of, something with worked into our ethos or something, and we bringing us back to almost a decade into an album. Are you like? I know it wasn't intentional I know you didn't mean for it to take that long, also I don't think it matters that it takes this long.
Yeah.
It'll only matter whether it's any good or not. That's the only thing people are ever
that
going
might
to.
not matter.
But it's true.
Yeah, that it's like
it's
it's a thing that I wanted to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and that at the rate that we were working, and I think for the album that we were talking about, like we rehearsed some stuff, we recorded some stuff ourselves, we did some like actual pre-production.
The second RTB2 album?
Yeah.
2? Yeah, we did. Everything was demoed like
and then,
on 4-track. Yeah.
And then kind of a treatment with Nathan Brown too.
Yeah.
It's available on 8-track. We Are a Strange Man. Was kind of a pre-production thing as well.
That was fun.
And then that's where a lot of that stuff had words, I think. There may be some instrumental versions of some.
There might be.
I'm anyway, getting ahead of myself.
No.
And then that album I think we recorded in 4 days, mixed in 4 days.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. That's working pretty quickly.
It is.
For how well it turned out, I think. And like I've heard the new album. Number 1, Honey Puppy Momma.
Number 1, Honey Puppy Momma, yes.
And it's great. And it sounds like you.
Yeah.
And it's kind of got a real like kitchen sink.
It's the usual kind of thing. Like I feel like the last one, Neighborhood, was like that. Usually those are usually it. It's like it's how the spirit moves me. It's usually like music, bands, or albums that I'm into. It takes about 3 or 4 years to synthesize through my bones in my brain, and then it usually comes out. Then it comes out in the music. Like there's a song that's very like Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan kind of stuff. Like there's a track on it that has like that kind of music in it. And that was probably from me starting to listen to it 4 years ago. And then all of us longer than that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I wrote the song
14 years ago.
14 years ago. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's whatever is kind of on the palette, on my palette of colors to kind of use. Like nothing's kind of off limits. There's all kinds of stuff. I use I still have some drum machines and keyboards that were my older brothers that they had in like early 80s, kind of a thing like that. And I still have those, and I used a couple of those. And they sound awful. They sound awful, but they sound so good. I think what I've learned with who we've worked with over the years, JC, Justin Collins, who has probably engineered most of the things that we've worked on, that I've worked on. What I've learned is if I give him something that sounds horrible, but I really, really love, I know that he'll turn it into something unique, and just kind of like with his treatments of what he does with his outboard gear and everything like that. Like I know that it's kind of giving kind of a messy thing to somebody who I trust that they will.
He's got a real gift for that.
He really does. Like making my, there was one too many songs that I was playing. My kick drum was a suitcase, and he had to once again make it sound like a bass drum or whatever.
On the new one?
No, not this.
That was on, because that was So
the last
Speak,
one.
right?
Yeah. But there was a few more. And then when I was playing with George Neal and Hares on the Mountain, that first one where it was all 4-track, just George and I, mostly, there was also some kick drum, some suitcase kick drum, same suitcase.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
it's
that was
good
around
sounding. It's a good sounding suitcase.
I think so. Yeah.
You still have it?
No, R.I.P. I think it. I don't know where it ended up. It's in a landfill.
The great kick drum suitcase gig in the sky.
Gig in the sky. It went to the same farm that my parents told me that one of our dogs went to, Shady.
Oh, my cat's there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Same farm.
Wasn't expecting we were gonna have to talk about that.
Yeah. The dogs, you mean? The dogs we've lost over the years?
Well, the palette seems expanded. I was just thinking about Neighborhoof and how they were giving a compliment, and I appreciated it, but someone told me, and because I sort of co-produced it.
Yeah.
And but someone called it a lo-fi masterpiece, and I was like, oh, lo-fi, come on, man. But I get it. I take it. It's fine,
and it's not necessarily.
It doesn't hurt anymore.
Yeah, and it's not. I think lo-fi can have a lot of kind of ideas within it. It doesn't necessarily have to be like an old tape recording from,
right,
the 1920s or anything like that. There's elements of just like looseness, like however planned the looseness was, and just like instrumentation of just like, I think that can go into it. It's not necessarily just the sound. It's like the performance goes into it, the type of instrumentation. So it's not about how you recorded it.
But like the on the new thing, I hear new things. I hear things where you've grown as a writer. I hear you and JC challenging each other in new ways, like sonically. And then but the I don't know, like the floor has come up too. Like I think your solo ideas are things that I think would be sort of in that lo-fi or found media sort of sounds. Those sound elevated to my ears.
Yeah,
anyway.
it's whatever, lack of a better word, a little more mature, I guess. Man, that's a terrible word. I feel like it's
that's not exciting.
It's not exciting. And I think some of it is like the content of it and me kind of learning about life and relationship and all that kind of stuff. Like I think it kind of went in musically, it was affected as well, not just kind of like the lyrical content, the songs and things like that.
I'm hearing growth.
Growth, there it is. That's the word. I feel like this is my tunnel of love, if you had to say, like, compare it to, not that I always compare myself to Bruce Springsteen or anything like that, but if I had to compare it to, like, kind of growth wise and kind of content about, like, learning about yourself.
Mm-hmm. Identity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so. Yeah. There's like the song that I was just doing a solo song for Brian over there. And that one's called Heart Before Head. And that's like about, I mean, everything that I've learned in therapy about, like, to have and to continue and to communicate in a relationship meaningful. And that's like that song. It's a cowboy therapy song.
In 3.5 minutes.
And probably, yeah. Maybe 3. Maybe 3. Yeah. There's a lot of words in it.
That's boiling it down.
Yeah. That's boiling it down.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, all kinds of things. There's like great, like from my spouse, Rosie, like she grew up in Denham Springs and was kind of around, like every crawfish season. She is the happiest she's ever been. And so from those kinds of influences of, like, that, where she kind of grew up with, like, Cajun music and everything like that, that's where the song Honey Puppy Mama kind of gets some of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then just kind of the usual, Thin Lizzy rock and roll. It's just, I don't know how to describe some of the songs.
It goes
like,
a lot of places.
There's always the soul thing of, if it's like an Otis Redding, Sam Cooke kind of thing. And I can point to, like, another guy, Jimmy McCracklin, who I was listening to 14 years ago. No, maybe not 14 years ago, but, like, there's some of that stuff of just, like, it's just kind of all in there and it's all over the place. Some weird lo-fi, like, electronic trashy stuff. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm always excited to put out new things and work on new things. And now that I'm not hindered by getting this done musically, I still have to work on the artwork and all that stuff, all that crap. And how am I going to release it? I think I'm going to do just like 100, like, CDs or something like that for, like, a physical thing, if anybody wants it physically. And then just stream it or whatever.
Cool.
I don't know. Spotify. If Spotify isn't, if people don't hate them for humanitarian reasons at the moment that I'm pushing go on DistroKid website, then it might be on Spotify. I don't know for sure. But we don't know the state of the world then. Who knows how long it'll take for me to get the artwork together.
Yeah. And the state of the world's constantly changing.
That's what I hear. I don't read the news though.
Is there, like, you're talking about influences, and I don't want to get, like, very bogged down with it, because I think we're getting very near the end. But is there someone that you feel like you, like, influence wise, you can't really ever get away from, or someone who you feel like kind of got their hooks in you early and you'll always go back to for inspiration? Do you have, like, a kind of a number one of, like, even just a touchstone? That's a strange question. As someone asked me about that, specifically about you, and I was like, I don't know.
Trying to think of just kind of when I pick up a guitar, like the first thing that I do, and it's usually just big ringy chords, and that just makes me think of Radiohead B-sides. I feel like, and Radiohead and Oasis B-sides.
Okay.
Like those particular songs where it's like, they weren't, something about the B-sides where, wow, I'm just like thinking about this. I'm not going to be able to articulate this, but I feel like I just had a breakthrough of just it. These were the throwaway songs. Not throwaway, but it's just like they didn't put them on the album for a reason, whether it was the label or the artists themselves. And they're usually like outliers And I think that's kind of like, I feel like with every album, it's like I want to just write B-sides. If that makes sense. Like
it makes a lot of sense.
Because it's not really, I could, if I did the work of just like kind of really not kind of going in a direction that might seem a little more congruent. Is that the word? But just kind of that makes a little more sense kind of put together, maybe like an arc or a story or something like that. But it's not, I just want, like, I think every kind of collection of songs is like are all B-sides. And that could mean that they're not good enough for an actual album. And that's fine. But it's just like, that's kind of like, if that makes sense. And it all started with going to like friends in high school or whatever. They would have burnt, CDs of just like, of like whatever live songs that Radiohead was working on the OK Computer tour, or like collections of like just rare stuff, because we couldn't get enough of it like at that time. Whether it's like, because a year or 2 years between albums was a really long time back then. Like the time between Weezer's Pinkerton and Green album, like if you look back, I think it was like 2 years.
It's a long time.
Maybe 3 years
when you're wanting it.
But yeah, for sure. And so it's like we had to like scrape for it, of just like, what else do they have? It's like, well, they have a couple of songs on the soundtrack and everything like that. And so it was kind of, we were searching for that kind of more material. And the more you searched for it, you would find like these gems that was just like, this doesn't sound anything like what I normally think of like with the band. I think it's a little more complex. I think if it's not as good as like what was on the album, I feel like it's more interesting, like, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And there's something to like, maybe this thing didn't fit in to a record because it was so big and it was so different. And so it's like, well, I don't know. I don't really know if this belongs on this album. And this is why I like bootlegs, show thing. To me, it's like the subplot. And then I like that about the things that, some of our favorite artists release, and it would be complete sessions of this thing. I'd be like, oh, this song could have been on this record, but it didn't fit. And so it ends up, maybe it went unreleased, but fans know about it, and it's like, yeah, this was a great thing. And maybe it's, in some cases, it's something that someone thought was too close to the bone and they didn't feel.
Yeah.
What if you put out OK Computer and then someone was like, this one song just, that really brings the whole thing down for me. Like that would kill, like that would hurt.
Yeah.
If you felt like that was a real piece of you. And so I get that for sure. And you have some ownership, right? If you get out and find something that can be yours. OK Computer is not yours.
Yeah.
Like that is everybody's.
Yeah.
Everybody, every critic lost their shit. Every person who found the CD, put it in and was like, this is wonderful. But if there's these little like scraps behind, those can kind of feel like they're yours.
Yeah, for sure. Like another way to put it, I think of somebody long ago called me music grubber, because I would because of just like it almost felt like I was stealing things. I mean, in a way we were, because it was like ripped music.
Sure. Only because they wouldn't sell it to you though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So you had to steal it.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. And it's another thing about like the album itself, of just like the critics or whatever. And it's like, that's everybody's. And it's like, that's usually the thing that that's like the big influence, like on the music, like the albums afterwards. And I don't mean to like, I don't know, too many things is said or have been said about Radiohead, OK Computer, but like everyone had their OK Computer after that. And I know that's been written about too, like the Cardigans and the other bands.
Yeah. When people try to figure out their way of doing that, and they go, "Oh, we should record a record with this person because he might kind of have the magic." And there's people who, and there's people who follow producers like that.
Yeah. Oh, and but the idea of like the B-side or the whatever, the track or anything like that, it is a little more. It's more interesting, maybe because it's a little more secret. And it's like not everybody kind of knows it, and it feels like less universally influential in a good way.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that, like as an artist, is that like an aesthetic you've sought?
Uniqueness?
Yeah, of like you're never maybe no one is, you're not gonna like be on the charts necessarily, but something that someone could discover and go like, oh, this person has a pretty deep well of good of music that I really connect with, and I found it. I'm
there's and it's that there's something about it that feels like it's more art. Like it feels more artful. I guess, because for what, I don't know,
because it wasn't for commercial gain.
Yeah, kind of a little bit, I would say so. Anyways, that's the stuff that I go, like that feeling is what I go back to. I don't necessarily like go back and listen, but like that, but I guess that's not really was your question, but just going back to that sensation, those kinds of things where it's like, what kind of idea is going to kind of pop in now that I know I won't necessarily be like, this is the one, or have a similar kind of thing where it's like, I'm on to something here. It's not really, I guess I haven't had that motivation. Not that you don't need it or anything like that. And not that anything would come from it if you had that motivation.
Right.
But like, sometimes it is, I guess some musicians and songwriters are kind of that way. And then I think I'm a little bit more kind of that way. I'm just like, where is this idea going to take me? Not necessarily, where can I take this idea? If that makes sense.
It does.
Unless I just said the same thing twice. Also, the thing with I wanted to bring this up because we are living in a strange time. Like it's been already like 30, 40 years, probably even before that. But the time of, it's a really strange time to be living in releases of like sessions and anthologies, not anthologies, but it's just like the Dylan bootleg stuff. It's like, what a strange time to be living in, and being able to acquire that information and to see, or I mean, they're allowing us to see whatever they want kind of behind the curtain. I know whether it's somebody who is, died like Prince and we're seeing in his vault kind of a thing, but I can't imagine, like now it's hard to imagine what it was like before that. And I don't know, I don't know exactly how to feel about that. It's great to have access to that kind of a thing, but I don't know what is sacrilegious of like that kind of sort. And I don't know. I just kind of wanted to bring that up because it's a very strange time to be living in. It's almost like that's the aim for artists now. It almost seems like where it's the vault tracks, it's the here's all of the sessions kind of a thing. Eventually it's almost like that's an end game for things. Even like with Taylor Swift, like she does like, and almost immediately it's like, here's the album. Oh, here's everything else I wrote and all the sessions for that, like a week later after you bought the album.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's content. a certain part of the industry, I mean, that's what, like, I mainly buy used music. I try, if I like something new, I try to funnel money to those people in any way I can, and I buy their records, or I buy their merch, or I go see them live. But when it comes the way that like legacy artists who I would only just be buying their original presses or old presses of their music, is they will go, hey, here's 6 CDs of curated stuff, and I'll just buy it because like they've got my number. You know,
it's a way to keep coming back to those artists in a fresh new way. And the people who are selling it can know that for sure. that's what people want. But as far as just like the access to that, and you know, it's like I don't know where it gets to be. I don't know your philosophy on it. And I go back and forth of just like, is this like the Kafka thing or like Prince or whatever, where it's just like, I don't know if we're supposed to be hearing this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I could probably go 2 ways, but probably I'm just going to go, I want it. I'm going to find it if it's out there. And probably in this age anymore, there are ways to find it either and get it for free or someone else would sell it to me. How does this come back to drugs somehow? But that someone would just go, oh, they'll buy that. Okay, sell it. Yeah, sell it to them.
Yeah.
Put it in a package and ship it off to them. And I'm sort of like, you might as well, if you don't feel anything for it. Great, you know, that's fine. There's, you know,
that's such like a pessimistic way to put it too. It's just like, whatever.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Yeah. Neil Young's had a weird run in the last, I think probably since Silver and Gold, I think, which is maybe like late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, early 2000s.
And so like it's like been spotty. The writing's been a little spotty to me.
Yeah.
But he will occasionally put out something that's really good, but he will put out things from the archive that I gobble up. It's put me in a bit of a in some cases of things that he shelved and then he put out something else. I'm like, has Neil ever been able to tell what was good and what was not? You know?
And that makes you kind of question sometimes, I don't know if this sounds weird, but it makes you question kind of why you like this artist this whole time. Like,
sure,
what do I actually like about them? Like, why have I been following them? And to see what is unearthed and what is eventually that had been of legend is now officially being released and everyone's kind of seeing it. Like, I don't know, it plays into kind of it changes your appreciation, whether it's positive or negative, whatever. Whether you don't enjoy, and we shouldn't, and you feel like it's a bad idea to see too much behind the curtain,
mm-hmm.
or that it's like the appreciation is there. Please, Neil, just release everything. You recorded it from 1970 to 1980. No, 1990.
Well, release it all. Let us, let us sort
figure it out.
Yeah.
Let us curate your next box set.
Because especially with him, oh God, I don't know. But there's parts of his masterpieces where there's album wise where he'll lose me for a song or something. And then there's the so even when he puts something out that is new to us that he shelved, I'm never like 10 out of 10. This is amazing. I'm always like, oh, 7 of these are really good. One of them is fantastic, and I'm mad that it's never seen the light of day until now. And then there's a couple that are fine that I'll take with the rest of that. But
yeah,
that's how everything up until, like I said, kind of recently. I don't know. It hasn't been hitting me as hard lately.
Mm-hmm.
The last few. But I'm no discouragement, Neil. Keep it up.
No,
keep on doing what you're doing, pal.
We like the context,
and maybe when the expanded version of these albums come
of the ones that you don't like,
find the one.
Yeah,
I know it was wrong. Okay, well, I think we're good.
I think we're good. I'm feeling good, man. Just want to say I love you.
I love you too. Thanks for being here.
Yeah,
Brian.
Thanks for including me.
We love you, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. We appreciate your input.
The love is mutual.
Thanks for having us.
I hope you can find something good out of all this.